Wow, that was low. Let's try that again. Good morning, Unity on the Bay. Good morning, Faye. Okay, I hear you and I feel you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Faith Tatiana Albednas, and it is truly an honor and a privilege to assist Reverend Juan this morning. Thank you for having us in your homes. So, a couple things to let you guys know about. Today is the last day for you to make a donation to our annual backpack drive. In case you haven't heard the news, Unity on the Bay is matching every donation made up to $10,000. That means if you donate $50, you're helping 10 children get new backpacks stuffed with school supplies. We hear the cry of parents out there who are struggling, and so please reach into your pockets and help these families in need today. You can make your donation on our website. Remember, today is the last day to donate, unityonthebay.org. Today at 1 p.m. online starts the first part of the two-part workshop series called Conversation Skills. Believe it or not, conversing is a skill set, and mastering it means you can excel in interviews, relationships, and even in your career. In this course, you'll learn how to not get overwhelmed and hijacked by your emotions in conversations. You'll also learn nonviolent communications. Screaming is not the answer. Trust me, I've learned the hard way. And there is still room in this online class, so head on over to our website today to register. Just look for conversation skills. You'll see me in that class for sure. Lastly, I want to tell you guys about another amazing free event that Unity on the Bay is bringing to you online. Join Panache Desai and Reverend Juan on August 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern for a 30-minute online event called You Are Enough. Panache Desai is the best-selling author, storyteller, and a business and life catalyst who for over 10 years has been using energetic transformation to positively change the lives of countless people around the globe. He is the best-selling author of Discovering Your Soul's Signature, a 33-day path to purpose, passion, and joy. You may recall seeing him on Super Soul Sundays with Oprah. Registration for this free event is on our website at unityonthebay.org. Register today. And now, without any further ado, here's Reverend Juan.
Thank you, Faye. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our Sunday service. It's great to be with you. By the way, just to make sure you realized it, when she said, you could recognize him from Super Soul Sundays with Oprah, she was talking about Panache Desai, not me, not yet. And by the way, I don't know if you could tell, I'm looking a little different today. I realized something. Most of you are watching us in your pajamas, and you will spend most of the afternoon in your pajamas, so why do I need to dress up? I decided to get a little bit more comfortable like you are when you're watching us. I'm grateful that you've joined us to be part of Unity on the Bay, positive path for spiritual living. And I want to remind you that we are following guidelines. We are being very conscientious of what it is that we need to do in order to be safe during the pandemic, and we trust that you're doing the same. If you're watching us for the first or second time, we want to get to know you more. So please text NEW to 305-573-9191. Also want to remind you that we already feel your energy, but we want to hear from you. So whether that's hoot and hollering during the service, whether that's making comments in the comment section below, just let us know that you're with us. We love to interact with you in this way. Now, here at Unity on the Bay, we have a mission, a vision, and core values that guide us. And today I'm going to invite you to speak our core values with me. So together, diversity, generosity, gratitude, integrity, love, being spirit-led, and wisdom. Also join me this morning in speaking our building affirmation together. We give thanks that Unity on the Bay's right and perfect home is manifesting under the guidance of God. I do a little fey there, just, for me to hear what I know you're screaming out right now. Right now, get it? All right, so with that, and the piano's getting a little louder, I think it's time to go into our opening prayer. Take a moment to just take a deep breath with me. Feel into the energy, into the consciousness that is Unity on the Bay. That connection with the divine that we experience as we open our hearts and we open our minds to knowing more of our truth. And so give thanks with me this morning. Give thanks that we have come to be in a place of deeper understanding, greater clarity. Give thanks that here and now we are open, receptive to experiencing greater blessings in our lives, and through that, being a greater blessing in the lives of others. take a moment now to affirm with me the truth that we are enough. Say that with me. We are enough. Make it about yourself in this moment and say, I am enough. And now let's recognize that as the truth of the experience that we are moving through in this very moment by saying, there is enough. Knowing this, we truly are blessed and a greater blessing to all those around us. We give thanks. Thank you, God. Amen and amen.
Good morning, Unity on the Bay. Yes, more than enough. It's always a great reminder that we are more than enough, we have more than enough, and we can be more than enough at all times. Sing along with us. I think you'll find the tune quite catchy. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why should I worry? Why should I doubt? Why should I ever think I'll go without? Why should I worry? Why should I doubt? Why should I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever we choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever we choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever we choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough, more than enough, more than enough.
Wasn't that beautiful? Unity on the Bay, more than enough. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Anthony. That was beautiful. Now I feel more than enough, right? Even with this orange thing on my hair that kind of looks like a beautiful little bird died in my hair. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm more than enough. Ah, what a beautiful song. So it is now time for the Daily Word, and the Daily Word is going to be read by Melissa McInnes. She has found a deep appreciation for the Unity teachings and has practiced and participated in many prosperity courses, including our current Absolute Abundance Advanced. Her energy lights up the Zoom screen at every class, and that is why she is just an exceptional person reading today's Daily Word.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be joining you today. It is such an honor and a pleasure to be reading today's Daily Word. Having an open heart of gratitude, family, being of service, and feeling all the blessings with my whole beings while sharing love and light with others is abundance in action. And now for today's Daily Word. For today, Sunday, August 9th, 2020, I am grateful for the good in my life. Today I take time to appreciate the abundance that surrounds me. I notice the beauty of the natural world, the talent and dedication behind the music and art I enjoy, and the skill and commitment of the people who work to maintain a safe and orderly world. The more I focus my attention on everything I have to appreciate in my life, the more I notice even more blessings. I am eager to share the gift of appreciation, so I give my full attention to someone I care about as we share a meal or a favorite activity or simply a quiet moment together. Feeling grateful for my life's blessings, I feel renewed appreciation for the love and beauty that enriches my life. Then turning to the disciples, Jesus said to them privately, "Blessed are the eyes that see what you see." Luke 10:23. I wish everyone a blessed day. Bye.
Thank you, Melissa. What a great job she did. Thank you, Melissa. At this time, as we prepare for a time of guided meditation led by Reverend Juan, I want to remind you that if you have any prayer intentions at all that you'd like to submit, you can do so in the comment section right there down below, or you can go to unityonthebay.org/prayer, and you could also send us a prayer intention that way. Our prayer chaplains will be answering each and every prayer intention sent our way. So now let us ease into a time of meditation with this song by Dale and Anthony, and we're going to put the words up on the screen so you can follow along.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
So let us just take a few moments to be much more conscious of the ways in which we are using our thoughts as prayers. I invite us to take a deep, refreshing breath. And if you feel comfortable, I invite you to gently close your eyes. Just allow yourself to really feel into this experience. knowing that here and now we are experiencing the sacred, the holy. As we begin to rest in this sacred moment, we become more aware of the ways in which God's presence is here, is now. And we become more aware of the ways in which we ourselves are the presence of the divine. So take another deep breath. Feel as the heart expands. Notice as the mind becomes more quiet. It is in this sacred space that we know that we are enough. For here and now, we move more deeply into the awareness and the recognition that we are the embodiment of the Christ. That we are the expressions of good. Feel into this awareness. Get a sense of what it's like to own your truth here and now. You are enough. And there is enough for you, for us. Knowing our sacred worth and the ways in which we are the expressions of good, we allow ourselves to then feel the freedom, to get a sense of the freedom that lies within us as we accept this truth, as we accept the love and the peace, the joy and the wholeness that is a part of who we are, is an expression of who we are. Here and now we own this Christhood. Take another deep breath. Feel yourself lighter. And know that you are in this very moment releasing and letting go of anything that is no longer serving you, any patterns, ways of being. Simply letting them go into the nothingness from which they came, claiming now your good and deeper and greater, more expansive ways. This moment is full of possibility. You are full of potential. Here and now, we are limitless. We are limitless. Let us take a few moments in the silence to recognize more deeply this truth and to feel as we embody this freedom from limitation and this knowing of our oneness. in this very moment, you are recognized for the truth of who you are. You are recognized as the expression of love and light. In this moment, you are seen. And in this moment, you are experienced as the very presence of the divine. And so join me in giving thanks for this ways of being seen, giving thanks for this way of being understood, of understanding ourselves here now as the Christ, as good, as all that is sacred. We give thanks for this truth, and we give thanks that we have come to accept it more fully. So it is as we let it be. Amen and amen.
Hello again. If you watched our service last Sunday, then you got to experience the energy and the soul and the love of Karen Drucker, who is just one of the most amazing New Thought artists anywhere. So you're going to get to hear her again today before Reverend Juan's talk. So please enjoy the beauty of Karen Drucker.
So Unity on the Bay, here's the deal. If it serves my highest good, that's what it's all about. So here's my affirmation I want to teach you. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. So do you agree with that? If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Let me teach it again. I do believe I will receive. I will receive. I just have to know. I just have to know and then declare it. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. With just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Yeah. You got it. So this is your affirmation for the day. Sing with me now. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time, just a little bit. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know, and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Yeah, just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Declare it. I do believe I will receive. I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. With an open mind. Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time now. If it serves it, if it serves it, it is mine. I do believe I will receive. How about this? Anything I want, it is mine. How about some perfect health? It is mine. How about you sing that now? Perfect health, it is mine. How about some joy and peace? Yeah, it is mine. You sing that line. Joy and peace, it is mine. How about some love, love, love. It is mine. Say love, love, love. So here's what it comes down to. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. Yeah. If it serves my highest good, it is mine.
I just love Karen Drucker. She's one of my favorite also. So I'm so grateful that we've been able to have her. So got a little joke for you. By the way, I heard from some people that you enjoyed my last joke. So thanks for egging me on. It's all your fault. So I finally bought the limited edition thesaurus that I've always wanted, the limited edition one. When I opened it, all the pages were blank. I have no words to describe how hangry I am. So I actually shared that joke with Jason earlier, and he gave it a 5 out of 10. And he even asked what it meant and how it connected to what I wanted to talk to you about today, which was breaking through your glass ceiling. That's never a good sign when somebody has to ask about the joke, right? But I did it anyways, because in case you were wondering, this is how I saw it. It's about limitation and, going out and buying that limited edition. And how many times have I actually gone out into the world and bought into that limited thinking, gone exactly what that limited thinking was supposed to get me, and all of a sudden I'm just speechless about what it was that showed up. When in reality, if I look back on it, I got exactly what I was supposed to get because I got what I gave out, right? And so that's just how I connected it. You don't have to. But that's what I really want to talk to you about, to really get in touch with the ways in which we are maybe moving through life consciously or unconsciously with a certain level of limitations that we have placed on ourselves. I can look back in many aspects of my life and realize, yep, that's what I gave out. That's what I got out of it, right? There was some limited thinking. And the more that we become conscious of the ways in which those limitations have created some of our experiences, I think the better we're able to really navigate through them and actually expand the ways in which we can experience life. Now, does that sound familiar to you, that we go consciously or unconsciously through certain limited patterns, right? And certain limited life situations? And I know that it's about taking responsibility. I want to also just know that it can be very difficult, right? And we don't always start at the same sort of like foundation. And I'm even talking about just our life situations are very different. And so one of the key things about it is, yes, to take responsibility for how we are experiencing our experiences, but also to be very gentle with ourselves and be very kind with ourselves as we move through this. Because for me, this is all about evolving through my limited thinking into a greater awareness of my truth. And more than ever, I think it's so important for us to really believe in the possibilities. We have to believe and have faith that regardless of our circumstances, whether it be our individual circumstances or it be our collective circumstances that we may be moving through, that that we are bigger than those circumstances, that there is something greater being birthed, and that the feeling of joy and peace and love that we are searching for is attainable. Can you hold with me the understanding and the recognition that all that we are seeking is attainable, and we have in this very moment everything that we need in order to experience that? Now, we have to break out of our limitations for that to take place. Gay Hendricks, who is this psychologist and author, says, if I cling to the argument that something is not possible, I'm arguing in favor of limitation. And if I'm arguing for my limitations, I get to keep them. Are you ready to release and let go of your limitations? Are you ready to experience life in a new way? Gay Hendricks, who is the author of a book called The Big Leap, he really invites us into looking at what he calls the upper limits. And one of the things that, how he describes upper limits is these programs, this programming that we have bought into that basically express the ways in which we see ourselves as worthy of certain things and what we're exactly worthy of and what we're not exactly worthy of, right? And it's sort of like this thermostat, he calls it, the upper limit thermostat. And the setting holds us back from enjoying all of the love, the financial abundance, the creativity that's rightfully ours. He says, when you push through your upper limit thermostat setting by making more money, experiencing more love, or drawing more positive attention to yourself, you trip your upper limit switch. Deep inside your mind, a little voice says, you can't possibly feel this good, or make this much money, or be this happy in love. Unconsciously, you then do something to bring yourself back down to the thermostat setting you're familiar with. Even if you do achieve a glorious new height, it is often short-lived. Does that sound familiar to you? When I first read this, and I read this in the Absolute Abundance class that I'm facilitating, a course that was created by Ken Daigle, I really got that it was speaking to me, that I had experienced this in different parts of my life, and I was willing to actually question whether I was experiencing them here and now. Now, to push through our upper limits, our own glass ceiling, we really have to shift the ways in which we have been living. We have to release and let go of the belief systems that, yes, may have brought us to this very place, and we can be very grateful that this belief system has brought us to this very place. But it may not be the belief system that is now going to get us to a next step in our own evolution. And so Ken Daigle, who created this course, he's the senior minister of Unity of San Francisco, says, we often are not willing to even conceive of a life beyond what we think possible. The belief system that got us to where we are is the only one we know, and we have perfected how to operate inside of it. To create and sustain a new life, something beyond what you already know, you have to let go of things, and that can be scary. So when I ask, are you ready to release and let go of how things have been, right? And be open to the ways in which things can be, to move from the place of surviving to the place of thriving, to move from the place of complacency to the place of magic. I have prided myself in being able to see myself as somebody that would say, of course I'm ready to release. Of course I'm ready to live out these experiences from the higher consciousness. And if I'm honest with myself, it's more yes and right? I get stuck sometimes. I get stuck in the familiar ways of how I've moved through things. I get stuck with how I believe things should be. I get stuck. There are old patterns that continue to, move through me and in my experience. The good thing, though, is that, my glass ceiling is not the same today as it was 10 years ago. There has been an expansion. But if I'm honest with myself, there are still ways in which I do limit the ways in which I can experience joy, prosperity, abundance, and wholeness, right? I tell some of the people in the class, I remember when The Secret got big, they said, print out a check with your name on it for $1 million and place it somewhere where you could see it every day. I never did that, because it was just too unbelievable for me. So I printed out one that was for $1,000. A few years after that, I was comfortable with it, so I started printing out one that was $10,000, right? And so luckily for me, my glass ceiling has shifted, but I ask you the question, where is yours now? And how have we defined ourselves from the place of limitation? I love that Paulo Coelho says, you only know yourself when you go beyond your limits. That's when we really get to know our truth. When we move from the place of our limitations, when we move past our glass ceiling, where we move from that which has binded us to recognize our freedom and to recognize all that we are and the potential that we have in living out our lives from the truth, from the core of all that God is for us. Now, in this book, The Big Leap, Gay Hendricks shares the story of one of the people that he coached. And so it's this gentleman, his name is Richard Jordan, and he had created a very successful small business, so successful that it actually attracted the attention of a larger firm that wanted to buy the business. And not only wanted to buy the business for $3 million, but was willing to give this Richard Jordan a contract to stay behind for another 2 years, really wonderful contract, giving him lots of money, giving him a lot of the things that he wanted. And so it seemed like this really wonderful dream come true. And so after weeks of negotiating, they were on the verge of signing the contract. And all of a sudden, Richard Jordan wakes up one morning upset. He's like, you know what? I feel like I've been taken advantage of because I think I deserve 2 more weeks of vacation in that contract. And so he called up the person that he was negotiating with and, gave him a piece of his mind. And what resulted actually is that the bigger firm sent Richard Jordan a letter saying, due to the ways in which you communicated and your feelings around the vacation package, this is just too much for us, and we are going to step away from this negotiation. How interesting that in that moment, he was able to really look at why he had all of a sudden woken up that morning and thought about the vacation. It wasn't about the vacation. He actually was able to look more deeply at that experience and come out of it saying, wait a minute, he wrote this in a letter to Gay Hendricks, $3 million, that's way more than I'm worth. I cannot allow this. That was really what was underneath everything else, a feeling of not being worthy of such a lucrative deal. And beyond this spiritual bypass of, well, everything's in divine order, let me tell you, if that were to happen to me and I would be able to look back on that situation, I know exactly what that would be, and that would be self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. I've been guilty of it. Have you been guilty of it before also? And how is it still maybe playing a role in your life? There was a limit to how much Dr. Jordan felt he was worth. Is there a limit to how much you feel you are worth? Is there a limit to how sacred you feel? How much is too much of a good thing for you? Like, let's be honest about these answers that come up for us, because I know that it's so easy to say, I'm limitless, I'm boundless, I deserve it all. And what happens right after you say those things? What are some of the thoughts that get triggered? It's really important that I look at those things for me. Before I met my husband, Tom, and I've been talking a lot about him lately, it's probably because we just celebrated 10 years of our wedding anniversary. But before I met him, and he laughs about this because I always talk about, past relationships, he's like, none of them lasted longer than 6 months. But I had quite a few that lasted just about 6 months. Actually, only one of them lasted over 6 months. The day that it was our 6-month anniversary with him, with this person that I was seeing, I celebrated. I was like, oh my God, this is so great. We made it to 6 months. 6 days later, I got drunk. I was a jerk. We got into a fight, and he broke up with me. There was a limit to the length of intimate, committed relationship that I thought I was worth. I can see that so clearly because I had 4 or 5 relationships, one after the other, that were really close to 6 months. And the moment that I got past 6 months, I screwed it up for myself. I self-sabotaged. We deserve more than what we have been self-sabotaging ourselves with. We deserve to move beyond our glass ceiling and those limitations that we have placed on ourselves. See, Dr. Jordan, when he was able to see the ways in which he self-sabotaged, he was really able to experience that, and he started calling it his $3 million gift, the ability to see the ways in which he hadn't thought of himself as worthy. And from that place, he was able to ask himself 2 questions that he's used throughout his life now. How much love and abundance am I willing to allow? Take a moment right now. How much love and abundance are you willing to allow? The next question, how am I getting in my own way? How are you getting in your own way? See, I believe, actually, when you ask that kind of a question, I'm just going to invite us to take a deep breath. It takes courage to be able to ask that question. It takes even more courage to be able to answer that question. See, I believe that we either grow through and past our limitations or we die by them. We grow through and past our limitations or we die by them. So how can we break through these glass ceilings? Like I told you, I'm in the process of experiencing a lot of this myself, right? Like I've been able to look back and see what has worked for me, and I'm still in the question of what can continue to be a practice for myself. But I want to share with you some of what I believe has worked. And the first one is as simple as that. Working it, asking yourself these questions and not being afraid of getting uncomfortable with the answers. I know what I did after sabotaging my 6-month and 6-day relationship. And I was able to, in that moment, as I realized that I had done that, to take a moment to ask the important questions. Why? What was it that created that situation within me and expressed itself in that relationship? And when I was very clear on some of what I needed to work with, I actually spent a whole year, almost a whole year, reading this book called Finding the Boyfriend Within, reading every chapter, doing every single one of those practices. And kid you not, at the end of reading that book, at the end of doing those practices, Tom showed up in my life. So I was willing to ask the questions and really get in the grit of it all to find the answers and to work through them. Second thing I invite you to do is to set intentions for your highest good. See, this is one of the reasons why I love teaching and facilitating the prosperity courses, because I'm always invited to revisit my intentions, my goals, the ways in which I see myself living out in different aspects of my life. So have you asked yourself, what is the highest intention in all aspects of your life? Have you asked yourself how you want to experience all these different aspects of who you are and the ways in which your life shows up? How do you want your relationships to look like, to feel like? How do you want to experience your job, the ways in which you share the skills and the talents that you are so full of, that are just dying to be expressed through you? How do you want to feel within your body, within, how healthy you want to be, how you want to express your well-being? What kind of financial stability do you want for yourself? What are the things that you want to buy for yourself, the things that you want to have for yourself? Think about all of these areas of your life. I know that there's been times in my life where I just have concentrated on one aspect of my life, but I'm in a place where I want to have balance and I want to really get healthy in all these areas. I know that there have been times in my life, and you may be experiencing this also, where I'm like, all right, well, I've got good health, healthy relationships, and I've got a really great job, so 2 out of 4 ain't bad. There's the ability to be complacent in that and to be grateful for that, but there's also the ability to be grateful for the things that are working and be grateful for the work that is before us to be able to experience life in deeper and greater ways, in all the ways that we experience life, in all the areas of our lives. And by the way, if you answer any of these questions, right, I would invite you to ask another question, which is, can I go a bit further in how I responded to this, right? Is the way that I actually answered them limited? Is there a sense of limitation in some of these answers? And if so, go back to step 1, work on it, ask these questions, really work through them. The third step is to let the intention be supported. These intentions that you're making be supported by a remembrance of who and what you are. We are the expression of the divine. You know, if you believe that it was possible for Jesus, if you believe that it was possible for Buddha, if you believe it was possible for Michael Jordan, whoever you look up to, then you have to believe that it's possible for you, because we are made of the same cloth. We are each expressions of the divine, and everything that was within those individuals that you look up to is also within you. The more that we own our own divinity and own the greatness that is within us, the more that we can tap into it and be able to use it to push through any sense of limitation, any glass ceiling, any upper limit that we have falsely claimed as ours. Simply affirm your worth. When's the last time, I remember when I first came to Unity, we would do this quite often. When's the last time that you just looked at yourself in the mirror and just said, I am worthy. I am love. I am limitless. Over and over and over again. Maybe that's a practice that you want to take on this week. Every time you pass through a mirror, isn't that great? Every time you pass through a mirror, stop and say, I am worthy. I am limitless. Now, you might want to say it out loud so people aren't just assuming that you just keep looking at yourself in the mirror, but it would be a great practice for you to see what comes up, and if there is some uncomfortability or there are some beliefs that say, no, you're not. Some thoughts that still, the little voice, the little monkey mind that starts telling you all the reasons why that's not true, then do the work to heal those things. Be grateful that they're showing up, and then be able to speak back to them and say, no, I do know that I'm worthy. I do affirm that I am limitless. I am sacred and holy. And then the fourth thing is, when the time comes, take the big leap. When the time comes and you feel that you are reaching your upper limit or your ceiling, your glass ceiling, push through it. Now, as I was thinking about this visually, I realized that for some people it may be like the Marlins Stadium, where it just the roof just opens up and you're able to push through. But for some people, you're gonna have to break through the glass ceiling. It may feel uncomfortable. It may be challenging. It may feel like a breakdown. But as I've told you before the breakthrough, there is a breakdown. Keep going, keep pushing through. Move past your upper limit thermostat and do the things that are for you to do to create a foundation, something for you to lean on. Find your support system to be able to move through those limitations, whether that is an individual that you can confide in, whether that's a practice, prayer and meditation, whether that's really just a book like the one that I read after all those relationships, whatever it is that you can use to hold your hand as you are breaking through. For regardless of whether it's that open ceiling or the pushing through, the reality is that once you are flying free, once you're experiencing your life as limitless, no matter which way it happened, you'll look back on it and say, it was worth it. It was worth it to move past what we had perceived ourselves to be limited by, and recognize that we truly are full of potential and able to move from one expression of good to another. And when you do reach that next step on your journey, you may encounter another set of limitation. You may encounter another glass ceiling. But just remember that you have been able to push through them before. Believe that you can do it. Believe in yourself the way that I believe in you. We were destined to be an experience of limitless potential. And here and now, we are claiming this as our truth. Have a beautiful day, and namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Juan. Thank you. I heard exactly what I needed to hear. Did you? I think my favorite part, I think we should start that practice, Unity on the Bay. Anytime we see a window or a mirror, we're just going to stop by. We're going to go, I am enough. I am limitless. And the wonderful thing about Miami is that I doubt anybody will look at you any way different, right? Reverend Juan, you were fire today. Fire. I was taking notes and everything. And to my single girls and my single boys as well, get that book, Finding the Boyfriend Within. It worked for Reverend Juan. You don't get a better spokesman than that. All right, so it is now time for our prosperity opportunity. We are so blessed to belong to this community, right? We are. Yes, put all those comments down. We want to see all of them. We are spiritually fed every Sunday, and we especially appreciate your giving during these times. Our Sunday celebrations and Hour are the primary ways in which we are financially supported. We are continuing to be mindful and serve as good stewards of all we have and all we receive while we provide the necessary programming to you, our spiritual community. Your giving is made simple through text giving or through our website. If you want to go green and just go via text, which is the easiest way, please text UOTB to 73256. That's UOTB to 73256. You set that up once, it's easy peasy from then on. You can also go to our website, unityonthebay.org. We'll put all that information up on the screens for you. And we thank you. We thank you for your gifts, honestly. Grab your gift, your phone or whatever, and put it to your heart, and we'll bless these gifts together. Divine love, that I am, blesses all that I give and all that I receive. It's time for the kids. Bring the kids up. Bring the kids up. You're four-legged kids too. Hi, kids. I miss you guys. I miss you guys tugging on me. I miss you guys taking the microphone. I miss you guys. We will all be together soon, I promise. Giving a big hug to Ollie and to Evan, to Lucas, to Nikki. I see you guys. I miss you. We will all be together soon, I promise. Now, adults, let's get our hands ready. Let's bless these children together. Children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. Just a reminder that the Kids Zone is open at 3:30 p.m. online. Details are on our website as well. Raul will be there facilitating with the kids, and it's always a great time. If you're watching us for the first or second time, we'd love to get to know you better. So just text NEW, N-E-W, to 305-573-9191. And if you'd like for us to pray with you, we'll put the link in the comment section with more info on how you can submit your prayer intention. Now join us as Dale leads us in a prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you all for being with us today. We've had a great time. Have an amazing day and an amazing week.